baseball historian from Kansas City, and just going to talk to you just briefly this evening about some things I was thinking about. I'm doing research all the time. I wake up every day and I do some kind of research, and so um, when you're doing this research, you're always thinking about something. And today I was thinking about multi-sport athletes, and I started thinking about some of the great ones. And I thought about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders had the opportunity to see him play um, on more than one occasion, baseball, football. One that I saw play baseball quite a bit, and was Bo Jackson. I happen to think Bo Jackson was one of the greatest left fielders that the Kansas City Royals ever had. He had the arm, he had the range. He could play beautiful left field. I didn't always think he was a great center fielder, but he was excellent left field. And probably, some people might debate me, but I would say he was the greatest that I saw in the years that I actually worked for the Royals, and I saw him on a continual basis all the time. So great multi-sport athlete. And of course, you probably heard of Charlie Ward. That's another one that was tremendous in more than one sport. And these are names we don't talk about that often, but most modern sports fans will know about them. And then I'm going to go back because, I'm always talking about the Negro Leagues and things like that. So a couple of guys that really stand out for me. One was going to be Goose Tatum. Goose Tatum, Harlem Globetrotters. Most people know him from the Harlem Globetrotters. Some people know him from the Indianapolis Clowns. He was an all-around athlete. So he's somebody that most people might know especially if you follow the Negro Leagues closely, and or you follow basketball history, you're going to know about Goose Tatum, Reese Goose Tatum, El Dorado, Arkansas. And one of the things I specialize in is knowing where some of these people came from and having the opportunity to go through some of their places where they lived. My son went to Grambling College, and we used to leave Kansas City, and we'd always go close to El Dorado, Arkansas. And every time I would go through there, I'd think about Goose Tatum. Um, I know we used to, every time I would go, on the highway, I just go past the town, and I'm thinking about somebody who came from there. I know there was a place called Pea Ridge, Arkansas, and every time we would go through there, I would think about this guy who used to pitch for the Kansas City Blues, who were the white minor league team here in Kansas City, and his name was Pea Ridge Day because he came from Pea Ridge. And so you think about all these people all the time, and that's the thing that makes sports fun. And of course, there's another guy that I like to talk about, and that doesn't get talked about very often. Was a guy by the name of Fang Ward. I don't know how much you know about Fang Ward. He doesn't get a lot of publicity, and I would say Joe Lillard doesn't get a lot of publicity either. But today I'm going to focus on Fang Ward, Harry Fang Ward. I think I'll probably put up a picture of him a little bit later on. But Harry Fang Ward is a name you want to know. Now, years ago when I started doing research, one thing that I did, I'm a book person. Definitely, not only do I write books, and maybe some of you even have books that I've published before, but I'm a book person. And what I would do is I would go out looking for yearbooks from the HBCUs. And so I have a massive collection of HBCU yearbooks that feature a lot of these guys that I talk about, because I was always looking for the most pristine image that I could get. And years ago, I picked up a copy of this. This is right here, Wilberforce. Wilberforce was an HBCU and sponsored through the AME Church. And of course, I am AME, African Methodist Episcopal, to this very day. And of course, he went there. And so Fang Ward was not only a great football player, but he was also a tremendous basketball player, and he also played in the Negro Leagues. So this is the name, if you have not heard of him, you want to go look. His name is Harry Fang Ward. And I'm looking at this book. This is 1929. Unfortunately, I don't have his senior year, but I have his junior year. I would love to acquire the senior yearbook because it's going to even have a greater picture of him as a graduate. And in my personal collection, I have a lot of photographs of Wilberforce graduates. So I knew they took beautiful pictures out of Xenia, Ohio. So I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll go ahead and post this up later on. But I'm looking at him on the football field. And he played, of course, the Wilberforce Bulldogs, in case you didn't know that, Wilberforce Bulldogs. And Wilberforce has a history that goes way back. And so Harry Wilfang Ward was playing for them, and I don't know if you can see this, but right here, there's a picture of him right there in his football uniform. And he, in addition to playing football, matter of fact, I'm looking at some of their scores. They played Lincoln out of Jefferson City that year. Wilberforce won 12-6 over Lincoln, and they played Tuskegee. They tied with Tuskegee 6-6. And I'm looking at some of the scores here. They played Fisk. I have a son that graduated from Fisk, and they played Fisk, and Wilberforce lost 10-0. They got shut out there. And of course, Wilberforce is playing Union College. Some of these HBCUs don't exist today. But anyway, that was the football squad, and you can see the beautiful pictures of the football team. And these is where you get when you go through the HBCU annuals, and getting these books, can be hard, but they can be found. And if you know what you're looking for and the year you're looking for, you can find some great things. Upstairs I have in 1948. I'm trying to think what college that is. Morehouse, and unfortunately I don't have Martin Luther King's senior year, but I have the year after he left. So I would love to have that one too. But anyway, we're going to stay with Harry Wilfang Ward. And here's Wilfang Ward again. Now this is him in his basketball uniform, and so. Once again, a tremendous basketball player. I don't know if they say anything about him. They said there wasn't much to choose between the combination of Cliff Lucas, Tommy Robinson, and Wilfang Ward and Ernie Ash at guard. So everyone knows that Tommy can go. Cliff has a mean way of shoving them off his chest into the basket. And what does it say about that? Wilfang Ward was his cool, steady self, and paired with the youthful and brilliant Ernie Little was left for anyone to ask in the way of guarding and fast passing. So that was Wilfang Ward, Harry Wilfang Ward playing basketball. So now we got two sports. We got the football, and now we have the basketball. And so I'm going to jump over here. And you see, once again, you see some more pictures of the basketball team, different guys. And a lot of these guys will go on, and some of them will play professional sports, like Wilfang Ward. And so he's also playing on the baseball team. Trying to see the baseball team. Beautiful team picture there. And I don't recognize anyone else that was on this team that played in the Negro Leagues, but certainly Wilfang Ward did. And so if you go online, you can find a little bit more about Wilfang Ward. I think there's a good picture of him. First picture in here is Wilfang Ward. Wilfang Ward at bat right there. So this is history. And, if over the years, I've been basically honored to think of history in this way. And over the years, if you've seen it was my second book, the Negro Baseball Leagues of Photographic History, and books since, I've gone through and found high school yearbooks I have a great picture of Henry Milton, his senior high school picture. It's the best picture that you can ever see of Henry Milton. It's in my John Buck O'Neill book, The Rookie, the Man, the Legacy. Actually, it's in that other one. It's actually John Buck O'Neill, His Words, His Voice. And The Rookie, His Words, His Voice. And so, but that's a picture of Henry Milton. And it came from a yearbook. So most people have not heard of Wilfang Ward, but I want you to know about him. And if that's not enough for you guys, how about this? I don't know if they have one in here especially, but he also ran track. So this Wilfang Ward was just an all-around athlete for Wilberforce University. And once again, Wilberforce University is an HBCU. I don't know how closely you follow them, but when you think about the all-around athletes, two guys from the Negro Leagues that I think that you need to think about often are definitely going to be Fang Ward, and I'm trying to think who else. Um, well, we'll just stop with Fang Ward tonight, and then probably what I'll do is, if you think of somebody that you want me to spotlight, I'll be happy to do that. And once again, having seen Buckle, how about this? Bo Jackson in action. Buck O'Neill always talked about the sound of his bat, and I didn't get that kind of vibe from him, but I just knew that this guy could really play, and he was like, at one time he might have been the fastest guy in baseball, Bo Jackson, but he never led the league in stolen bases. He didn't even steal as many bases as Willie Wilson. And one day I saw Willie Wilson and Bo Jackson, excuse me, I don't know why I keep saying Buck, Willie Wilson and Bo Jackson have a race. And in that race, Bo Jackson ran off and left Willie Wilson. I saw this at Royal Stadium before the game. They're out there working out, so they decided to race. So I knew that Willie Wilson was a smarter baseball player because he had more experience, but Bo was actually the fastest one. And so these are just something I just wanted to talk about tonight. So we're talking about some of the all-around, all-time greats, multi-sport athletes who were African Americans who we need to remember. And so tonight I just talked about Harry Fang Ward and Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, Charlie Ward, and of course Goose Tatum. One of these days I'm going to focus in on Goose Tatum. I had the pleasure of meeting his son, and actually I knew someone who lived in the house where he lived when he resided in Kansas City, and so maybe I can tell you that story too. So the information I'm telling you about, for the most part, comes from my 40 some odd years of being one of the people in baseball, doing history about African Americans. So I just want to leave you with that tonight, and I do want to thank you guys for joining in tonight. I see someone named Sterling Shipping. I appreciate you coming in, and who's this other one? I see somebody that says Kayla Jaw, J-A is all I can see here. So just a couple of people in here, but hopefully our audience will continue to grow, and will become more interested, and I'll just keep giving this kind of information that you typically won't get from anyone who actually saw these things as they were progressing and who's been following history for 40 some odd years, and in some cases helped to make some of the people that we know today recognizable, their names, through many publications. So thank you for joining in. This is Phil Dix. I'm going to be signing off because I'm about to go out here and do some walking. We have about 81 degrees here in Kansas City, and this is pretty good weather for us here. It's going to get hot this coming weekend here in Kansas City, but tonight is a good night for walking. So I'm going to go out here and get some exercise, and so join me again, and we'll be talking about some other people. And thank you. I'm signing off for tonight. So good night, and we'll see you soon.